Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at patch 14.22. We're going to be taking a look at both League of Legends and Teamfight Tactics. I play both. I'm Diamond in League now, and I think Emerald in Teamfight Tactics. And I'm a little excited to see what Riot has in store for us. So, of course, big thing right away, Ambessa. It's coming with this patch. I'm a little excited and I'm a little scared. For those who haven't seen Ambessa's kit yet, the mobility creep is real. Very real. But anyway, let's just get into it real quick. First things first. Bounty is now showing the scoreboard after 100 gold instead of 150. It's okay. I'm not sure how I feel about the bounty system changes. They're pretty good. I like them so far, so. Means gain bonus move speed. 120 for the first 14 minutes. 120 to 0, scaling with game. So mid lane priority is gonna be an even bigger deal. Aatrox, one of the best low MMR top laners. Remember when we said this champion was hard? Remember when Aatrox was one of the more difficult top laners? Now here he is, performing in low MMR. I can't believe it. Players have discovered new tech with Spear Shojin, which will raise him up even farther, so it's time to bring him down to size. We're siphoning off a bit of his late game raid bossing, in order to narrowly target low MMR play where he's overperforming. So, World Ender. 30%, 40%. Oh, well, that's not as big as I was expecting. Anivia. Thank God. I've seen so much Anivia in the past couple weeks. I don't know why, but I'm glad she's kind of getting a nerf. So, armor growth down by 0.4. Damage. Let's see here. The base is the same, but it's 5% less AP scaling. Okay. She's a little squishier. Does a little bit less damage. What I've actually been seeing is tank Anivia, believe it or not. I was seeing like Anivia support rushing tank items, and she's just abusing her her utility with all the slows and stuns, so that you can't fight back. Because she only really needs a Liandry's to pop off. So this will make her have to commit a bit heavier into the ability power. E damage increased. At this point, Riot, just take away the slow on his W. I know that'll probably break him, but this is like, what, the 4th consecutive buff that they've given Blitzcrank that's just a buff to his damage, like his E. So now this is doing 200% total AAD. I might just play AAD Blitzcrank top at this point and rush like an IE or something with how much this is doing. We'll see. Briar, base health increase. Briar was one of the most fed champions from the Blade of Ruin King's recent nerf. We like the item's new state, so it's time for us to retune champions bound to it. Briar deserves a bit of help here, so we're increasing her durability. Oh, that's somewhat substantial, an extra 35 HP. At level 1. Yeah, it's okay. It'll help with her early brawling, for sure. So next, Corki. I've seen a lot of Corki in the past couple weeks. It's definitely that buff they threw out. Because now he's doing what? Corki is doing a massive amount of true damage now, so I'm kind of glad to see. His attack damage growth from 2.5 to 2, mana growth down to 40. So this is to stop him from spamming, right? Corki, like they said, like, it's literally just too easy for Corki to just push the wave. And then he scales into a monster anyway. To be fair with you though, the last Corki I fought went lethality. So, we'll see. Manamune is super good on him, so. Fizz, Q and W damage increased. I have not seen any Fizz. Honestly. this champion has, like, fallen off the face of the earth for me. I have not seen Fizz in a long time. Fizz has continuously lost kill threat due to racial nerfs from earlier this year, along with his items being nerfed. Looking to return some of the kill threat by rewarding aggressive Qs along with a slight boost to his active W. So Urchin Strike, this is his dash. 10 through 70 plus 45 is now 10 through 70 plus 55. Wow, 10% increase on the AP ratio. That's actually kind of hefty, I would think. Especially since he's going to rush Lich Bane and he's going to have a Dark Seal. That could be pretty substantial. Seastone Trident, 50 through 130 plus 40 is now 50 through 130 plus 45. Yeah, so they're just giving Fizz higher AP ratios. I actually don't mind this, because once again, it's been a while since I've seen Fizz. I'm more concerned about how this is going to affect his split pushing, because that's when Fizz seems to be the most useful. I don't even really see his threat as an assassin at this point. It's really just the ability for him to just take a turret really, really fast. So I'm curious to see how this is going to affect that. Illaoi, base AD and mana growth decrease. Illaoi has been crushing it lately, especially in lower MMRs. We're nerfing her early game damage and late game ease of piloting in order to give our enemies a greater chance to succeed against her. Attack damage, -3, mana growth, -10. This is kind of a weird change to me. Because what makes Illaoi obnoxious is her E, right? It's just her E. If you're an immobile melee champion, Illaoi is just so unbelievably annoying to deal with. Because if she lands an E, you just lose the lane, period. And if she doesn't land the E, then the champion does almost nothing. I mean, she can still push a minion wave if she has tentacles up, but like, her power budget's completely in the E. Almost. So the mana nerf makes sense to me in that regard to punish her a little bit for missing the E. But nerfing her damage instead of just giving a cooldown increase to her E is weird. Because now the tentacles are going to do less damage, her W is going to deal less damage. There was also the grass nerf. I don't know. I'm not sure how big of a difference it's going to make, but it's going to be... It's just weird to me. It's just a weird nerf. Yeah, I would just give cooldown to her E if anything. Irelia. Passive Ionian Fervor. I saw this. Oh my lord. So, her passive now works on towers. This is... I don't know if it's game changing, but it feels like it could be game changing. So, her stacks now refresh upon hitting structures, and the damage applies at 50% effectiveness. Irelia with Hullbreaker. I'm kind of curious. I think I'm going to give that a try. Blade of the Ruined King into Hullbreaker. I think this champion's going to destroy the side lane. I feel like this change is going to be huge. It doesn't stack on towers. Well, that doesn't really matter. Irelia auto clears the... Well, she doesn't auto clear, but she's going to press Q and get 3 stacks for free instantly on a minion wave. Once she finishes Blade of the Ruined King, she instantly kills the casters in the back line. So she's going to have at least 3 stacks. If you leave her alone in the empty lane, she's going to clear it immediately and be able to start smacking the tower. She doesn't need to get stacks from the tower because she's clearing the minion wave with her abilities anyway, not just autoing. It won't matter if there's like someone obviously there under the tower. I'm saying like now she can take towers much faster. So I'm curious. I kind of want to see Blade of the Ruined King plus Hullbreaker, just to see what the turret taking ability is like. Alright, Jax. Okay, Jax has been asking for nerfs. Let's just be realistic. He's been asking for them. Our cooldown increased, damage decrease. Jax is performing a little better than he ought to right now, and while we're happy with his recent increase to durability and sustained damage, we're bringing down his burst damage to place more importance on the... So it's up 10 seconds across the board on his ult, whatever. 150, 250, 350 is now 100, 175, 250. Okay. I mean, that's kind of substantial. Not really. What makes Jax's ult so amazing is just what it does for your auto attacks. I don't know if a little bit less ability damage will make all that big of a difference. Because he still gets the AP scaling. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's something. Jax got nerfed. Let's just be happy about that, right? Jax got nerfed. He's doing a little bit less damage with his R. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference for his overall power, but we'll see. Katarina, ENR cooldowns decreased at lower ranks. This is... Katarina, like Fizz, is an assassin I haven't seen a lot of in a long time. And when I do see her, she goes AD. I don't even know what her best build is anymore because I never see her succeed. So let's see. Shunpo. 14 through 8 is now 12 to 8. So she can teleport more often in the early game. Death Lotus. Down 15 seconds at rank 1. Yeah, I haven't seen Katarina at all. This champion fell off a cliff. I feel like she just is suffering, probably. After the items got nerfed, maybe? I don't see her at all. Like, at all. We used to live in an age where Cat could take over a game, but... she's weak as heck. Gale. Passive attack speed increased. I already don't like this. I don't know why. So, 6% plus 0.5 per 100 is now 6 plus 1. This is not really that big of a change. I never see Kayle do AP anyway. I guess this will make her want to go AP. The only AP I ever see this champion get is like Rage Blade and Nashers. And if she gets to like her 5th item, then she'll buy like a Rabadon's. But I see Kayle build Blade of the Ruin King more often than anything. Max attack speed. 30 plus 2.5, 30 plus 5%. Yeah, so this is going to definitely push her more towards the AP builds. Because when I see this champion, it's normally like Blade of the Ruin King Kraken Slayer. So this definitely brings back the whole Nashor's Tooth build. Nashor's Tooth, Rabadon's. Which is what I see more than anything. No more Terminus Kraken Slayer. K'Sante. Hear my name. And know my strength. K'Sante's early game is too strong. No shit. I've been playing a bunch of K'Sante recently. This champion is not okay. I mean, he's never been okay. He's been a balancing nightmare from the moment he released. But I agree, his early game damage is ridiculous, especially once his ult is active. We're cautious of erasing the counterplay gains from the recent rework, so we're making small improvement to his dash speed for now. So his damage, 80 through 200 plus 40% bonus resistances, is now 70 through 190. So it's down just 10 damage across the board. Footwork, all-out dash speed, 950 plus move speeds now. Ooh. Okay, that's hefty. I have noticed that his dash is really, really slow. So this is more an adjustment than anything. He's going to be a little quicker at all-out, but he's got a little bit less damage on his main damaging ability. Okay. It's okay. Lilia, armor growth decreased, passive heal over time decreased. Okay. Lilia is probably the most popular jungler that I have seen personally. In 100 games, she's shown up in like 40 of them. I was curious as to why she was so popular, but armor growth down by 7.7. Dream Laden Bow, Monster Heal. 39 through 54 plus 15%, 39 plus 15. So it just stays at its base number. Will this even matter? I feel like junglers already just heal so much in the jungle. I'm not much of a jungler, but like, just from what I've seen, it doesn't feel like a big deal if a jungler doesn't have that much sustain. I feel like once you get past the early stages of the game, the champions just heal their whole health bar out of the jungle anyway. But I guess this will keep her from being too tanky once she's just building AP. Because Because this champion doesn't build armor anyway, outside of like a Zhonya's. So, understandable. Tiny nerf. Maokai, base move speed, health increase. East sapling move speed reworked. Now this is interesting. Maokai got pushed out of top lane and became a jungler. And then he became a support. And he stayed there for months, years at this point. Without giving too much more to top lane where he's fine. Is he fine? Is Maokai fine top lane? I haven't seen a Maokai top in legitimately 3 years. I don't think I've seen Maokai top since Mommy Cinder doing bonus damage when you did CC. I think that was the last time I saw a Maokai top. 5 bonus movement speed, 30 more base health. Sapling move speed, 4 to 460 based on boots. It's now linear scaling. So his own movement speed doesn't matter anymore. The saplings just scale. Okay. I think this is really just going to bring him back to being a viable support, right? Bonus movement speed, bonus base HP, better saplings. Maokai's just going to go back to the support role. Makes his roaming a lot easier, makes his early trades a lot more bearable. Mordekaiser, E damage decrease. Dominating lower MMR brackets, so we're taking a swing at his damage there. As better players are more likely to dodge his E, taking down its damage is targeted way to nerf him in places where he's performing the best. He lost 10 base damage and 20% AP scaling. God damn. That's a hefty nerf to his E. I think it makes sense. I mean, Mord, by design, is a low MMR champion. Right? He's super straightforward. His kit is super straightforward. Outside of dominating certain matchups, you don't see him high-low at all. Because there's no reason to, right? See, less attack damage, more attack speed. I guess. Eh. It makes her a little less lethal in the early game. She cares about the attack damage more than she cares about the attack speed. Because the real damage is coming out of her combo. If she can ram you into the wall and land a Q, like that's all the damage she really needs. I think this makes sense. The attack speed buff seems a bit awkward though. Rumble, base health increase. Why is this champion getting buffed? Didn't this champion just win Worlds? Why is this champion getting buffed? Rumble's early damage has been nerfed several times and he's performing worse in lane than we think is ideal. Instead of just walking back previous damage nerf, we'd like to improve his baseline survivability now that laning is less oppressive. Extra 30 HP. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll never forget Sated Devourer. Were you there for Feral Flare? Feral Flare was so cool. It was the best.
The era of metal has begun.
Seraphine, Q damage increase. Seraphine has crept up a little too high in bot lane, so we're trying to deliver a nerf. Hope will be AP skewed while leaving support less affected. Oh, it's nerfed. Q damage decreased. So 60 through 160 plus 60. 60 plus 50. Okay. 10% AP nerf. I feel like this champion performs best in a supporting role anyway, when she plays like an enchanter. I feel like that's when she's doing her best. But I can understand. Nerf her out of an APC. Shen. Passive cooldown and refund increase, R shield decrease. Shen has really enjoyed the recent itemization shifts and devaluation of gold and is now stronger than we're comfortable with. I've gotten obliterated by Shen. Top lane. Can I just say that? I've played, I don't even remember what I was playing. I think I was playing Cho'Gath. And this champion does so much percent HP damage with this Q, and I just wasn't prepared. So it's passive, 1 more second. Cooldown refund. 4 through 8. So better late. Stand United, 130 plus 450 plus 16 bonus HP. Is now 120 to 320. Oh wow, this is actually a hefty nerf to Shen's R. Even the max shield. 720 plus 25. 512 plus 24. Wow. Well, there goes Shin. I only see this champion every so often, and... well, that's not true. We saw that one Shin jungle, and I see a lot of Shin support. So I'm thinking Shin support is probably where this is targeted towards. Alright, we got a follow-up to Swain, and he's getting the prestige skin this patch. Let's see. Magic resist increase, Q damage increase, E cooldown reduced, R healing increase. They just buffed his whole... one more is magic resist. A little bit more magic resist growth. Well, that's going to help him perform much better in mid lane. 60 through 160 plus 45. 60 through 180 plus 45. So max damage 320 plus 90. 360 plus 90. Wow. That means a lot, actually. The shotgun. 2 seconds less early? Yeah, so this is just better across the board early game. Heal per second. 15 through 45 plus 5 plus bonus HP. So a little bit more scaling on his bonus HP. Time for me to swap my main. We'll see. Sylas, health growth decrease. Sylas has been really powerful for a while now. This is basically the world's nerf, right? Because I'm seeing a lot more of this champion after the finals. Sylas is now building more health, which we're happy about, but he's a bit too strong right now. So his health growth down by 7. Okay. Fair. I still think he's going to be really, really, really strong. But alright. W damage increased on Syndra. I am surprised this champion got away as long as she did. I feel like this champion one-shots everything. Syndra is too good of a mid laner right now and deals a lot of hard to avoid damage. Hard to avoid. Hard to avoid. She point and clicks for 2,000 magic damage. Hard to avoid. Okay. I guess the rest of her kit is avoidable, technically. Technically. 70 through 230 plus 70? 70 through 210 plus 65. It's not going to make a difference. This ability does true damage, I'm pretty sure. Late game, right? Isn't that what her passive does? This ability does true damage. She's still just going to one-shot everything. Maybe I'm less likely to die as a bruiser. Udyr, our damage decreased. This has been a long time coming. I just recently played Udyr top, and this is just, whew. Armax built to performing too well as of late? Of course, they've always been overperforming. 80 through 440 plus 140. 80 through 360 plus 140. That's a lot, actually. 80? Empowered 8 through 16 is now 8 through 14. Okay. Monster cap. 60 plus 400% plus 800. Damn, that's a high. It's now just 80 through 400. Yeah, so a nerf to the Phoenix. Huh. This seems actually kind of hefty. I don't know if this is game changing, but this seems like something that should have happened a long time ago. Varus, W damage increased. 5 through 25 is now 8 through 28. Does that do anything? I guess. Sure. It makes his on-hit build better, because he's doing a little bit more damage. It's a marginal amount, but I guess it adds up, right? Since you're going to be autoing so much. Okay. Vayne, our damage increased. Isn't that hilarious? Because I will never see this in-game, because I ban this champion every single game. 25 through 55 is now 35 through 65. That's crazy. I'll never know. Because I'll never see this champion in my game again. Vayne top scarred me forever. Sorry. Vel'Koz, ENR cooldowns decreased at lower ranks. Really? Vel'Koz is in a bit of a weak spot, so we're giving him some power. This is confusing to me. Am I the only one who sees Vel'Koz like every other game? I feel like I see this champion all the time. And he's getting a buff. 20% lower cooldown at level 1? Or 20 seconds, sorry. 16 12, it's now 14 to 12. Better early game for Vel'Koz. Vi, passive shield increase. So this is the arcane patch. And 2% bonus max HP. Okay. That's a cute little buff. Makes her a bit tankier. Alright, here we are. The big Warwick changes. Are you prepared, Paco? Warwick's got some big changes coming through. Once again, the arcane patch. Warwick is getting some small updates. In addition to getting slightly bigger and scarier, he's getting some quality of life changes that'll help him have a smoother combat feel with his attacks. Additionally, we're changing the cooldown paradigm on W to make it easier to cast as a scouting tool. His model size is increased by 15%, so he's bigger. Blood Hunt, mana cost down to 55. The cooldown from 100 to 40 is now 80 through 40. 20 seconds, that's pretty big for early game. Spells now also trigger the attack speed when used to damage enemies under 50% health. The attack speed granted by the attacks and spells now linger between attacks. Wow. 250% increase on enemies under 20%. 200% increase on enemies under 25. So the threshold is slightly higher for a little less payoff. Ticks twice as fast while no one is hunted. Refunds 30% if no one is found by the active. That's interesting. So instead of it cooling down twice as fast, you just get back a third of it. If you try to activate it and no one is around. It's kind of weird. But I guess that justifies the lower cooldown. No longer locks out casting while in champion combat. Huh. So you can cast it mid-combat. Okay. Auto attack lockout after casting is shorter, so you can press E and attack immediately afterwards. So the howl is actually a little bit shorter. Infinite Duress, hit radius 150. His R is bigger. Now only latches on the champions in front of Warwick. This ult is going to be much harder to miss. So it has a bigger hit radius on top of him having a bigger character model. So it's going to be much, much harder to miss the Warwick ult. On top of the changes with Blood Hunt. And remember, a bigger hitbox means his E is going to be bigger too. So a bigger R, a bigger E, no lockout on the W. That's, not bad. I'm wondering just how much that's going to affect him overall. Finally, the last champion on the patch, Wukong. Base mana increased, W cooldown decreased. Wukong isn't performing so well in top or jungle, so we're buffing him. Most commonly maxes W last, so its cooldown remains very high, which I think is unnecessary. 30 more mana. 22 through 14 is now 18 through 14, so nice little buff for Wukong, so he can rely on his W a bit more in the early game. I don't think this will bring him back top line, but this should make him a bit more reliable on jungler. Alright, Youmuu's Ghostblade. We're getting into the items now. Shifting both opportunity and Youmuu's Ghostblade in ways that on their surface appear power neutral. However, players can choose which items they want to buy, so a more focused opportunity will be better for burstier assassins, and a more focused Youngs will be better for those who want to roam. So Serrated Dirt Rectrix Pickaxe was now a longsword instead of pickaxe. 5% less damage, but Youmuu's Ghostblade gets a little bit of bonus movement speed. That's worth it. That's worth it. 4% movement speed in exchange for 5 attack damage. That's very worth it. So this is going to be a very good roaming item. Opportunity. See Youmuu's Ghostblade. So now Opportunity has lost its movement speed, but gains the 5 damage. And a little bit of lethality from its passive. Okay, so this is now the movement item and this is the damage item. Fine. Static Shiv, okay. Reworking Static Shiv again. This item has been reworked so much. And now they're doing it again. It is now 200 less gold, 5 less damage, 10% less attack speed. Electro Spark Remade. Your first 3 attacks within 8 seconds cause Chain Lightning, hitting up to 5 targets, including the attack target, for 60 magic damage, increased to 85 for minions and monsters. Scoring a takedown resets the cooldown on Electro Spark. So now instead of one big lightning bolt, you get multiple lightning bolts. Yuntal Wild Arrows. I have never seen anyone build this item. I think I saw maybe one Belveth build this item. But I don't think I've ever seen anyone build this. Costs 50 extra gold. 10 less attack damage. Doesn't give critical strike. 25% attack speed. Lost its passive. New passive. On attack, permanently gain critical chance up to 25%. So you have to earn the crit that was removed. When attacking an enemy champion, gain 30% attack speed for 4 seconds. 40-second cooldown reduced by 1 second on hit, 2 seconds for a critical strike. What's the point? I don't see the point in building this item. Am I confused? Yeah, I've never seen anyone build this item. And I don't see it starting now. I really just... I know I don't play ADC like that, so maybe I'm missing something here. But this item seems worthless. We'll see. I'm sure it's going to be like a hidden OP, just like Static Shiv. Right? People are going to start building it out of nowhere, and it's going to do way too much, and they're going to walk back this change, or probably delete this item permanently. Summoner spells. Barrier. We updated Summoner spells a few months ago to give Barrier a real spot in bot lane. However, we slightly overshot. Barrier is almost always the go-to over everything else. Slightly nerfing in order to promote more choice down in bot lane, while also making those champions a bit easier to kill. 120 through 480 is now 100 through 460. Yeah. I guess so. ADCs almost exclusively take Barrier nowadays anyway. They never take heal. If there's heal in the bot lane, it's because there's an enchanter taking it. The ADC themselves never takes it anymore. Barrier is more efficient because it's not countered by Ignite. And it lets you survive burst. Smite. We added targeting forgiveness to Smite last year to let players smite dragons even when an enemy champion is overlapping with it. Since then, Void Grubs have been added, and it means smiting over a Grub's corpse will often target the closest living one. Wasting your Smite like that feels bad, so we're reducing the target forgiveness to mean Smite won't seek out an epic monster unless it's most clutch. Much closer to your... blah 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 blah. If you're bad at smiting, you got a bit more forgiveness here. Aram, Bat Chest, Arcane, Bat Chest, new Aram map. Adjusted all visuals for Arcane. Small lane speedway in the center of the bridge for more interesting play. Also to give melees and assassins an alternative strategy. Lane speedway. Okay. Health pad positioning slide towards the middle. Small buffs to health packs. Speed zone to follow up on allies yellowing in with snowballs. Side specific rewards for taking inhibitors. Base brush barriers to make defenses a bit more interesting. Explore 5 unique Nemesis quests. Wow. This is the new skin set, Chosen of the Wool. I've heard a lot of people say some dastardly things about this Katarina splash art. And Swain got the prestige. Ambessa gets the legendary of the set, which is awkward to me. Since it's Chosen of the Wolf, I kinda expected a Kindred legendary. But Ambessa's getting a release legendary skin, which is strange. And then you got Chromas. So, that is the point. This 14.22 patch notes for League of Legends. I think these are some pretty good nerfs across the board. Right? I feel like most of the nerfs were pretty justified. I don't know if they'll do a whole lot. And some of the champions felt nerfed in the wrong way. Right? Like the Poppy nerf made sense. The Sylas nerf makes sense. You know, less tankier Sylas, less bursty Poppy. Alright. Now let's take a look at team fight tactics. Yeah, I spent 40 minutes looking at this patch. So, if you like team fight tactics, this is the last patch of this set. Also, Chibi Ashe is on the way. For anyone who likes Ashe. I personally don't care. But she's back. Ahead of our next set, we've got a bundle for the next set's first pass. Chibi Caitlyn and her Boom are going to be available. So once again, my Arcane fans, Chibi Caitlyn's showing up early. They're really all-inning on the whole Arcane thing, aren't they? Team Planner upgrades. You can copy and paste team codes from your friends, favorite streamers, or that tactician who just beat you. Team codes will populate your team planner so you can roll away with ease. Wow. You can steal comps. Taking straight into your next game. Not bad. Multi-teams now allow for saving and flipping between multiple team. Thank you. Your team planner has loadouts now. I can have multiple teams in my team planner. You can save up to 20 comps. Thank you. That's a big one. For me. I don't know about y'all, but I really, really like that. Units now have names in team planner, make it easier to identify splashes that make looks. Thank you. Isn't that just incredible? This already makes the patch worth these quality of life changes to the team planner. Get your 27 copies worth of HP and power. 4-star units get an additional flat 500 health bonus. So that's going to be fun if you take worth the wait. So chrono time to proc, 4 seconds shorter. That's a pretty big deal, honestly. Especially since a lot of people like to just fit in the 2 chrono. Embiggen. Thank you, Freak, for your puns. Or I guess it's probably Mortdog in this case, right? It got really bright in here all of a sudden. Alright, so bees are bigger. Encounter stacks per cast, 5 instead of 3. Huh. Shapeshifter 10. You can now hit Shapeshifter 10. 66% HP and 5% health regen. Okay. Sugarcraft 8. 50 base AD and AP, 500 team HP, and a 10 times sugar multiplier. Why not? It's the last patch of the set. Let people go crazy. There's only 5 sugars, so you would still need to hit 3 emblems. So if you hit 3 emblems, you just win the game anyway. There's a prismatic shapeshifter and a prismatic sugar crafter, because you need 3 shapeshifter emblems at that point anyway. So they just have prismatics now. This is an ad for AD Jace. Make it happen. Okay. Ash got a mana buff. Jace AD. Oh, okay. 1 AD. Let me just get my IE. You know what? If I get worth the wait and I hit Jace, I'll do it just for you. We'll do the AD Jace. 80 percentage. Well, it's up by 100% at 3-star. That's pretty good. Warwick AD also +1. Aside from Kassadin, none of these two costs have had the chance to wear the carry pants, but now we're letting them try it on, whether it's Yordle size pants for Tristana or old-timey suspenders for Akali. Just checking if you're there, we know it's Zilean. Old-timey suspenders for Akali sounds like r/Darkenfolk. Just saying. So Akali, wow, an extra 10 AD. Kassadin gets a mana buff, Tristana got a mana buff, Zilean got a mana buff. Zilean's ability, wow, Zilean's ability does a gigaton more damage. Secondary damage, not as big of an increase on the secondary damage, and the stun's a little shorter. Carry Zilean might actually be possible now. Remember when we gave Jinx 3 AD and had to revert it? Neither do I. Well, she still could use the smallest buff, so here's 1/3 of that. Jace, Warwick, and Jinx are all getting +1 AD. Is this like an arcane joke that I don't understand? Jace, Warwick, and Jinx getting 1 AD. This is an arcane joke. Guess so. Nico 10 bonus armor and MR. Spine mana buff. Secondary HP gain. Ooh, this secondary HP gain is actually kind of nice. Makes Swain a bit tankier. I heard we're giving out stats. Fiora gets her 5 AD back. Gwen 5 armor and MR. Karma gets a nice little ability buff. Nasus heal from secondary cast. That's a big increase. That's a big increase. Nasus is back. Hell yeah. Varus an attack speed buff. I don't know if Varus will still be worth building. I don't think he is. Xerath's Ascendant Shards are the most fun and unique part of his kit, so we're letting them appear much more often. How much more often? 50%. Whew. 8 to 12, 40 through 50. And his abilities getting both. We're building Xerath today. The last TFT video I made was a 3-star Xerath. We might be going for it again. Placebo is now 1% attack speed, so they just walked back the buff. Golden Quest gold required. Oh, Golden Quest. I guess it was too bad for too long. Spider Queen bug fix was doing less damage than intended. I never take Spider Queen. The Shapeshifter comp's not even that fun to me, so I almost never do it. Artifacts. Animal Visage. Less HP. Less MR. But more HP regen per sec. And it grants 20 armor. I see. That's a buff then, basically. Removing 2 artifacts. Okay. Deathfire Grasp. Less AP, but more mana. Amp is now in the tooltip properly and lasts forever. Not a functional change. Reworked. Blast the current target for 40% of their max health. Repeat this every 13 seconds. Is no longer unique. So you can stack them. Wow. 40%? Sheesh. Eternal Winter has been removed. Forbidden Idol has been removed. Forbidden Idol I just never took. Eternal Winter was busted. It was one of the best artifacts by far. It completely changed fights on its own. Gambler's Blade base attack speed higher. Chance to proc higher. Hull Crusher also gives 25 AD and ability power if isolated. Okay. Damage now stacks if you have multiple copies of Horizon Focus. Benchmade no longer has mana but gives attack speed. Lightshield Crest gives 20 more armor and MR. Extra 20%. Oh my lord. This might actually be really good now. Mittens damage reduction, 5% increase. 200 HP on Prowler's Claw, but 10% AD. I don't think Prowler's Claw is all that good. I don't know who you're supposed to build it on, but I've had no success with it. Not this set, anyway. Seeker's Armor Guard gives more stats. Across the board, that's pretty good. Size increases with each stack. Silvermere Dawn. Bro, they're just going crazy with the damage in percents, right? Sniper's focus range increased 2. Spectral Cutlass gains armor in him. Jesus, man. So the champion sitting in the back line is just going to survive back there now. Trickster's Glass, Clone, Max Mana increase, 10%. Unending Despair Shield magic damage, 160%. Huh. Not bad. Not bad at all. So a lot of these artifacts are just way stronger now. Make them worth taking. Charms. All charms that cost at least 1 gold now cost 1 health gold less. Huh. Charms are cheaper. So even like your 1 gold charms are now just free. This is actually kind of big. Especially with the Xerath buffs. So Xerath gets all these buffs. And now your charms are cheaper. Trish's guys can correctly copy 4-star units. Very rare bug where more loot dropped than intended for everyone in the lobby. Fixed a bug where Spider Queen was doing less damage than intended. They already said that. Alright. That is it. That is the patch notes complete. I will catch y'all tomorrow, hopefully with some Ambessa gameplay and a little bit of teamfight tactics. So, until then, catch y'all later. Peace.